Shalom to you, like giving all praise and honor, glory to Yahweh, Shem El Shai, Bashem Kakodash, giving double honors to the elder apostles and elder bishops of Great Millstone, who well, peace and salutations to you, like Shemal Moppas, Moppa from the Great Millstone Plaintables Camp, located here in the city of Philadelphia. How about I'm a mighty Ma'ite? Come a lesson little or read lesson. And this is just, of course, speaking my thoughts, which concerning the food, or what we are given as food. And what I've been noticing for quite a bit is many of these different places that are in business, that are cooking food, they're cutting corners, and really a lot of this stuff that we thinking is actually really food ain't really real food, man. The food, either being bioengineered. You have it here in America now. You got some of the different products, actually state on there that it includes bioengineered or genetically engineered organisms and objects. And these things they deem safe to consume. Okay, despite the fact there is studies and research out there, which you can do your own research and see what the different various independent studies say. Okay, but it's pretty simple. If you eat something and it don't taste good, you don't feel good. Not to say like there ain't bitters that ain't good for you, because there's things that are bitter, like natural herbs that are bitter, that actually don't taste good, but they're actually good for you. But a lot of these different comfort foods, many people, they eat macaroni and cheese, they eat, a lot of this fried chicken, they eat, a lot of traditional foods and stuff, but a lot of it is just junk, man. It's just straight up junk. I'm gonna play maybe like 2 videos. There's a lot of confusion that's going on about there. This is a guy out of Philly, and he's definitely an Israelite, by the way. I got a lot of these guys that look like Moabites, but they actually are Israelites. If you close your eyes, you would think he like an Ephraimite or something, or one of the tribes and stuff. But you'll hear what he got to say. Now you have it, the Southeast Asian market, which is now South Philadelphia, here in Philadelphia. You have it, they'll go and sell, and a lot of the different Southeast Asian, a lot of them are Jake, okay, because you had a lot of Jake, go out to them different territories, Vietnam, and lay down with the women, Cambodia, all these different Asian territories. But they can cook good, but now like we're starting to see like a lot of the majority of the food that we do go out and buy is not good. It's trash. Okay, so is it really food?
This needs to be studied. Y'all influencers fucked up the Southeast Asian market. Why am I going to the market and taking an hour to find one fucking parking spot? One spot, not 2, not 3, one parking spot to just park, and it be all the way on the other side across the park. Now I gotta walk my ass to the actual joint. The chicken and beef, that's not even flavorful anymore like how it used to be. Look.
You said the food is just not flavored like it used to be. Like, you can smell it. Somebody cooking something on the grill. The aroma might bring you in. But when you actually get that actual product, the product is not what it used to be, or it's not what it says it is. Alright?
I knew it was wrong when it came in this bag in the first place. Like, look at this, John. It's supposed to come in a little brown baggie. It says barbecue on it.
That's the bag when we were youngins. We used to get those, back when we was in the world, we used to eat like pork ribs and stuff from the Chinese place. Them pork spare ribs and stuff like that. They would come in them type bags, with the that liner, that silver looking liner. Okay, that made it seem like it tasted the sauce and stuff tastes even better. You know, but if it's like a kind of like a South Asian, hey, they doing it a South Asian market. They kind of doing it like they would do back at home. It wouldn't be fancy. It'd just be kind of like no frills here. Get it. And a lot of times, a lot of things that are no frills be the best that you can get. A lot of the best chefs, hey, they're unknown. Somebody, grandma somewhere. Grandma don't got a grill. Grandma don't got a business, but if you go to grandma's house, she got the best food. Even with this guy, he go down, somebody in one of the comments said go down 7th and Daly or something like that. Go to my mom's. My mom cook you something that you would always remember and it always be consistent. But these places ain't even inconsistent because, hey, even Esau, because his kingdom is going down. Hey, that goes with everything that goes with the kingdom. Even the food.
Regardless of that, like, I don't know. And like, look, this is the chicken stick, right?
And what the hell is that? Chicken stick. I don't even know what that is.
I already had it, but like.
That's the longest chicken leg. Or I don't know what that is. What is that? Like the the flat? You gonna eat onto this thing like a GMO chicken? Like chewing on that thing.
I already had it, but like, look, these y'all just bland now. They're not good no more, bro. They not good no more at all. They don't got flavor. It's a little bland. It's lacking flavor. I get it. It's $2.50. This thing is crazy, but you also gotta think about it.
Look, don't it look like a drug deal was going on right there? Here, you give me a 10. Okay, you give me a 10. I give you 3 beef sticks. $11 actually.
I get it. It's $2.50. This thing is crazy, but you also gotta think about it.
You got like $15, $16. You just exchanged for some stuff that's not good. And a lot of times it's like you feel like you cheated. Okay? That's America for you. I did the lesson about the fraud. Nahum, the 3rd chapter, talk about this place is full of lies and robbery.
Y'all all talking about the tariffs and shit on Trump? Shit, man, it affects chicken too.
Yeah, the Trump tariffs affect the chicken. It affects the seasoning. Okay, everything. Okay, everything is integrated.
Yeah. It's dry, it's not juicy, it's not flavorful. That's the thing. It's not flavor, like it's lacking that taste. No, this one's trash. I ain't gonna say what lady I got it from, but it's not hitting like it used to. Chicken, just a beef stick. Ugh. It's not good.
See,
it's
people not even happy no more like to eat.
Lacking flavor. Like, I'm not trying to put nobody down, but it's just lacking flavor. I feel like it's because y'all overpopulated the market. So, nail the food and the drinks and whatever. It's just coming out some bullshit. Like,
y'all gonna get the money anyway, so it don't matter if the food is good. Okay, it's just all about getting the money.
Well, it's not hitting no more like it used to. At all.
Alright. Then I got this video right here.
It's a salad, but you know what this really is? It's called a humble salad. When you eat from the garbage on Rodeo Drive, there's some gum right there. Using someone else's fork. Then you got cars. People looking at you.
That's Edomite, man. That's an Edomite right there, man. You know, everybody acting like Babylon is just gonna keep coming back. You're gonna return to normal. But you got Edomites eating out the garbage and walking around barefooted in major cities.
This is called a humble.
Eating people trash food, which this is gonna become a normal. You know, because when it comes to the famine, okay, a lot of people are gonna be, you know, so desperate to eat food. You know, they're gonna rubbish and go do trash and go to great lengths. You know, like you see in some of these different impoverished nations, just to get you know, just a lick, a taste of some of these different, you know, greens or like maybe like a piece of meat off a chicken bone. You know, that's left over. Somebody done ate all.
The salad because it dissolves the ego, just melts it away. People look at you like you're a bum and think less of you.
He is a bum.
And the reward is you become more whole and complete inside.
He coming for eat some white food. Yeah, threw it away. And why you think that person threw that food away? Because it's trash. Okay, when all of these different meat packing facilities closed down, and you know, you got all the different warehouses and you know, things just closed and disastrous events done affected them. You know, things are just not the same. Like, I don't even like, see, you know, you used to get a spring mix. It used to be all right, but now the spring mix, like I said, it don't even taste good. Like, the greens that you actually getting, they don't taste like real greens. Okay, the chicken don't taste like real chicken. The beef don't taste like real beef. So what are we really getting?
Happier and more content.
He look like he trying to swallow that. You know, he putting his mind in another place. let me just eat this, you know, for the gram.
There's a lot of reasons why I eat from the garbage. One is because I eat really good, but even more so,
He eat good out of trash. This dude just put a handful of the salad greens on a plastic fork and dipped it in what was the dressing remnants.
U.S. American society where we waste half of all the food we produce, while 1 in 7 Americans are food insecure.
Maybe the food itself is waste.
So, this is a revolution salad. A revolution against waste and destruction and consumerism and egoism. How's that for a salad, my friends?
You don't even want to eat it, man. Stop, man. You gotta eat some other garbage, man. Alright, so I'm gonna come with some scriptures real quick. Ezekiel chapter 4, man. You know, we living this out in the fullest, man. Ezekiel chapter 4, man. It says here in verse 13, it says, "And the Lord Yahweh said, even thus shall the children of Israel eat their defiled bread among the Gentiles, the nations, whether I will drive them, and the Lord has scattered us across the four winds." Like you seen that guy, you know, he was this little Chinese guy looking like he an Israelite. Okay, Israelite foreigner right there. You know, he getting lineups and stuff. You know, he ain't just gonna be talking how he talk and being how he be without being an Israelite. Okay. You know, we'll be everywhere eating basically these defiled foods to ma. Alright? They're not ethically pure. Alright? A lot of, you know, the foods we eat, and they're not exactly what we are marketed to get. And we don't know what they are because we're not the ones actually hunting them, getting the actual kill. If it's meat, game, we're not uh, skinning them, preparing it, addressing it, and bringing it to the plate. Instead, you have it where, you have all types of things going behind closed doors. Okay? You have it here. Lab-grown meat industry has experienced significant growth with increased investment and regulatory approvals pushing it forward. This trend is driven by the potential of cultivated meat to address challenges like population growth, climate change, and a growing number of traditional food companies exploring this technology. So you actually have companies that are exploring the technology of lab-grown meat, and they have different USDA and FDA approvals, all right, on cultivated chicken from Upside Foods and Good Meat, okay? They're called Good Meat, but these companies are companies that are doing lab growing, okay? Clearing the way for their products to be sold at restaurants, okay? Regulatory bodies in Europe are also advancing frameworks for being approved lab-grown meat in Asia, particularly Singapore has already approved its commercial sales. So, as you know, different companies are overseas and they do ship their food over here in different products. But is it really real? Okay, a lot of, you going to Taco Bell, you eating straight soy, you thinking it's meat. You think it's beef, okay? But it's just this lab-made food, all right? Which contain all sorts of different things, all right?
They do it. It's a relatively simple procedure and similar for both meat and plant-based production. For meat, simply take stem cells from animals' tissue, add a nutrient-rich solution and watch the cells multiply into the three main components of meat: muscle, fat, and connective tissue. Then put the cells into bioreactors, or as they're more commonly known, cultivators. These cells are then separated and rearranged to build a final edible product. This part of the process is called scaffolding and can be
a final edible product, so it don't matter about really what it is. It's whether it's edible and whether it's determined, and deemed edible.
very complicated. A steak, for instance, needs a lot more scaffolding than ground meat in a burger. The entire process takes between 2 and 8 weeks, but the payoff can be huge. It's estimated that just 1,000th of a pound of cow cells can create up to 4.4 billion pounds of beef.
So it's profitable for Esau to do this.
Sounds like an impressive return. So what's the holdup?
Well, cost is a big issue. Currently, lab-grown meat is around 40% more expensive than animal meat. And then there's health and safety concerns. All production must happen in a completely sterile environment because the cells have no natural immunity from diseases. And while traditional meat is nutritionally dense,
So it don't have no natural immunity to diseases, so what are they going to do about those? Is it more chemicals?
most of its proteins, vitamins, and minerals are introduced via animal feed.
Oh, just put the different defenses in the form of these different vitamins and minerals and such, right? And put it in the feed and it'll be all right.
You have to add these nutrients into cultured meat, and it's still unclear whether today's additives provide equal nutritional value in the long term.
Yeah, and then add that into at a science, a molecular level, into these lab grown things.
As a result, regulators can't seem to align on the technology. Singapore became the first country in the world to approve cultured meat for human consumption in 2020. The US followed suit 3 years later, and the UK's Food Standards Agency approved use for pet food in early 2024.
Yeah, so it's okay for pets, but it's not okay for humans. But it's okay in America and it's okay in Singapore.
Italy, meanwhile, has banned the production, sale, and import of lab-grown meat entirely, with the government citing its potential negative impact on the country's farming industry. France and Romania might do the same. The EU so far has not offered any guidance, but if it does greenlight use, it could put Brussels on a collision course with angry farmers.
Some critics are calling for more research into the environmental impacts of cultured food, especially...
Yeah, because you're going to put a lot of people out of business. Alright, so, you know, I got scripture. Book of Daniel, chapter 7. Alright, 7 and 8, it says, "And I considered the horns, and behold, there came out up among them another little horn, before which this little horn is speaking about America, before whom there were 3 of the first horns plucked up by the roots." Spanish, French, the British, alright. Which later on, you know, that being plucked up, you know, hey, you have the American, you know, inception, alright. Or your current American government, alright. The various, you know, conflicts, wars that helped to establish America, alright. And behold, and this horn were like the eyes of man, and a mouth speaking great things. And one of the big great things is using the various pseudoscience, okay, that speak and boast these different claims. Alright. You know, you have it. I was told one time that a supplement is better than, or as good as, real food. Okay. And we're talking about something that's a waste product from milk. Alright. You know, somebody said this is a meal replacement to me. You know, and I believed it, and hey, thousands of dollars later, and other side effects that popped up on my skin. You know, you had somebody that got rich, and then me, you know, I had different effects. And myself, hey, I learned the truth that it's not worth, and it's not a meal replacement for me. Okay. You know, we here have it that we're being under, of course, the Edomites, the wicked, and the wicked are being and want to be as a god, okay, and want to, of course, tell you what is edible and what's food and what is not, okay. But yeah, man, you know, then you have different guys that, like Dr. Sabi and them, they come with a different, of course, way of life with Ishabium or herbs, and then that's demonized, okay, because you have different forms of medicine practices out there, and if you are operating outside of what is approved form of medicine by these E's, you know, you are the opposition, okay, and you can't make those claims, okay, despite the fact we know what, you know, if something is proven to do something, it's proven to do stuff, you know. But if you of course are the government entity or the bureaucracy or department that determines what is actually approved and what is acceptable, that's biased claims, you know, and it's not fair and it's not righteous judgment. Okay, so let me get another scripture too. I think in Esdras. I think it's in second Esdras, the 15th chapter. Alright, this is the book of second Esdras, chapter 15 and 12, it says Egypt, which is America, shall mourn, and the foundation of it shall be smitten with the plague of punishment that the Most High shall bring upon it. The ultimate plague of punishment is that nuclear missile. All right, but you have other various different plagues and diseases that shall bring down this place. It continue on, verse 13. It says, they that till the ground, which are your various agriculture farmers and such, right, shall mourn. Okay, now they're gonna be in great grief, lamenting. Okay, why? A lot of course, organic farm practices that have been done for hundreds of years are now being outlawed by the new technology and the new bureaucratic policies, okay, that are pushed. Okay, you have to be certified organic by our certification, but you have to pay this amount of money, and we have to test and check everything. You may just want to have a small, business, grassroots, and do things and govern things on how you run it, and just be honest. But a lot of course, the practices within these industries are cutthroat and dishonest. Okay, new products are created and invented every day, and there's big major marketing campaigns, okay, for that. Okay, there's a lot of witchcraft within obviously these different industries. All right, there's a lot of money is to be made. It says they that till the ground shall mourn, for their seed shall fail through the blessing in hell and with the fearful consolation. Okay, you got different diseases the Lord smiting, the earth with, destroying crops. Okay, you got also hey, the outlook, man, the outlook is not good. Farmers see different predictions of the future, and it's not good. Okay, we got a thing called a farmer's almanac. And hey, if you got Bill Gates, with his companies buying up all land, and you got different you even got different people, they'll do they'll split and make different hybrid foods, and then that is normal, and people accept that as normal. But it wasn't something that Yahweh Bashem Yahushai originally intended for you to eat. Out here you got it like here, like if I show y'all with the Hass avocado, okay, that was first developed and named by Rudolph Hass, a Southern California mail carrier and an amateur horticulturalist. Hass avocados are most commercial grown avocado worldwide, account for 80% of global avocado crop. Okay, so if you got this guy here that he started doing and getting patented the tree variety, and then he started using certain grafting techniques and such, and now you got this Hass avocado. Now you have it, it's easy to produce. Hey, you got somebody that got rich, all right? Simple. And somebody got the patent, and Esau got them patents, all right? And a lot of the things that you see here are not, wild, okay? You got the Dominican avocado, okay? Or Jamaican pear avocado. They call them pears in Banyamya. But this would be more of a natural, you food. You got guys like practitioners like Dr. Sabian, that you have foods that just wildly occur in nature, but then you got foods and now that's being told as, hey, well, all this is this is natural. But it really isn't natural. Okay. You got a lot of witchcraft that's going on. So I'm gonna get this out of scripture. This is Nahum chapter 3. And they tell you here. This is Nahum chapter 3 and 4. It says, because of the multitudes of whoredoms of the well-favored harlot, which is America, the mistress of witchcrafts that selleth the nations through her whoredoms. You got these various philosophies. Okay, you'll have it that, hey, a guy develops something, he'll grow it. Then, of course, it's we got patented. He done, of course, pushed it to the industry. Now, of course, it's grown in other countries, and now they can benefit off of it and get rich off of it. But we don't know of its true benefits health-wise. And most people, like I said, they don't do their research. Okay, but hey, it's told that it's fine to eat, it's edible, it's safe, it's healthy, good for your heart, good healthy fats. That's what's pushed by the doctors and the dietitians. Okay, that's what they're running with. Okay, but then you see most of these people that consume these foods on a normal basis. A lot of these different individuals, they still got issues. Okay, when this food should be, of course, as repaying our health, for us, all right, our healing. But going on, it says that selleth the nations through her whoredoms and the families through her witchcrafts. Okay, Kashop going into the different sorcery, all right. And you have it, the FDA. Why is it called the FDA? The Food and Drug Administration. Okay. You got a food and drugs. Drugs is food. Food is drugs. Alright, so just putting that out there. Things are not the same. Careful what you eating out there. Hey, you wonder why your stomach and your shite, your bowels stink. A lot of this because of all of this junk that we're eating. All right. Look into the alkaline diet. If you can. And hey, things are gonna continue to get more weirder and weirder. All right, the earth's not yielding its strength because the Esau eat them. Of course, Koyan being cursed, but shalom to you, like.